Hello and welcome to my channel We Learn by Sharun. I am Shraddha Banode, Assistant Professor in Electrical Engineering Department of St. Vincent Pallotti College of Engineering and Technology, Nagpur. In this series, we are learning synchronous machines, and in today's session, we are going to understand the concept of D-axis and Q-axis and their reactances. So let's get started. Now let me introduce these terms D-axis and Q-axis. Now, what are these d-axis and q-axis? Let's try to understand. So, when we deal with d-axis and q-axis, it is only related with the salient pole synchronous machine. It has nothing to do with the cylindrical pole synchronous machine. When we say salient pole synchronous machine, d-axis and q-axis comes into picture. Now, why we need to consider this for salient pole synchronous machines? Let's see this salient pole type of rotor here. Now, when you find this salient pole, you will find that in salient pole, the air gap between the rotor and armature, like if you can see this figure on the screen, this circle is nothing but the portion of armature, and this middle rotor, that is salient pole rotor, is nothing but rotor, which is the moving part of the alternator. So you can see that the air gap between this armature and north pole, as well as the air gap between this south pole and this armature, is very small, while the air gap between this center part of the poles, center part of the rotor, and the armature is very large. So what I can conclude here is that air gap between the rotor and stator is not uniform. Air gap between stator and rotor is not uniform. That is why, because of this non-uniformity, there is changed in the EMF induced, there is difference in the EMF induced in all the armature conductors. Now, how they are considered? So let's try to understand this step by step. So if you can see this is D axis. This is always along the axis of the rotor. अगर rotor vertical है तो D axis vertical होगा. अगर rotor आपका horizontal है तो D axis horizontal होगा. And the axis which is exactly in perpendicular to the rotor is quadrature axis. The axis which is directly in perpendicular to the rotor is quadrature axis. D axis, direct axis is also called as D axis. Quadrature axis is also called as Q axis. So basically, this study is called as two reaction theory. And it is proposed by Andrew Blondel, and that is why the theory is also called as Blondel theory. This theory is also called as Blondel theory because it was proposed by Andrew Blondel. Okay, now, the theory proposes that you have to resolve. See, if you want, you can just go to the points. I'm not reading those points, I'm just explaining you those points. Okay. So, that what the theory proposes that any MMF, armature MMF, now we know that whenever there is an armature current flowing, it produces its own flux, and because it produces its own flux, it produces its own MMF. Right. So the produced MMF will be resolved into two perpendicular components. One component will be along the D axis and another component will be along the Q axis. So the component which lies along the axis of the rotor is called as D axis component, and the component which lies along the perpendicular axis to the rotor, that is called as quadrature axis component. Now, the d-axis component of the armature MMF is denoted by FD. Armature MMF is nothing but magnetic field. Magnetic field is nothing but flux. So FD is representing MMF, or you can say flux. Okay. So the d-axis component of armature MMF is denoted by FD, while the Q axis component of armature MMF is denoted by FQ. So FD and FQ are nothing but armature MMF components along D axis and Q axis. Now the component FD is either magnetizing or demagnetizing. Means it completely depends upon the load. If the load is capacitive, it will be magnetizing. If the load is inductive, FD will be demagnetizing. So depending upon the load, the FD can be magnetizing or demagnetizing. but the FQ component will always be cross magnetizing. I repeat, depending upon the load, every component can be either magnetizing or demagnetizing if you can recall the armature reaction part, but the FQ will be always cross magnetizing. Alright. Now psi. Now what is psi? Psi is nothing but the angle between armature current IA and excitation voltage EF. EF is the main excitation voltage, the EMF which is induced. Right. And what is FA? FA is the amplitude of the armature MMF. Now try to understand what is FA. FA is the amplitude of total armature MMF और जो FA है FA को दो perpendicular components में जो लिया गया है that is FD and FQ. So FA is the armature MMF which is resolved into two components along D axis FD, along Q axis FQ. Okay, let's move forward. So if psi is the angle between, as I told you, between IA and EF, then we have two components FD, FQ, and we can also write it as FA sin psi and FA cos psi. So MMF along the axis is represented as FA sin phi, FA sin psi, and FQ, that is the MMF along Q axis, is represented by FA cos psi. Okay, these things also you are going to see when you will learn phasor diagram. I'm going to explain you phasor diagram for salient pole, but right now just try to understand the relationship between them. All right. So now again I have drawn the same figure in front of you here for two reaction theory. Now what is two reaction theory and why it is required? So I already explained you these points. We will just go through these points. So in the cylindrical rotor of synchronous machine, the air gap is uniform, but in the salient pole, the air gap is not uniform. All right. And because of that, let's consider a two-pole machine here where you can clearly see the air gap between the armature and rotor of the salient pole synchronous machine is not uniform. All right, we are assuming that the rotor is moving in anti-clockwise direction right now. So the axis along the axis of the rotor is called direct axis or d-axis, as I explained you, while the axis which is perpendicular to d-axis is called as quadrature axis always. Now the direct axis flux path involves two small air gaps. Now direct axis, we have d axis along the axis of the rotor, and the air gap along d axis is very small, while the air gap along the q axis is large. Now, what do you feel like if you have a small air gap? So obviously there will be lesser reluctance, right? Because air gap small, reluctance कौन दे रहा है आपको? Air gap दे रहा है. Otherwise तो जो पूरा मटेरियल है मशीन का वो मैग्नेटिक मटेरियल है. सिर्फ एयर गैप है जो कंपैरेटिवली लेसर मैग्नेटिक है. तो इसलिए आपको मैक्सिमम रिलक्टेंस कहाँ मिलेगा? जहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा एयर गैप है, और मिनिमम रिलक्टेंस कहाँ मिलेगा? जहाँ पे बहुत स्मॉल एयर गैप है. स्मॉल एयर गैप कहाँ पे है? डी एक्सिस में. तो डी एक्सिस में आपको मिनिमम रिलक्टेंस मिलेगा. रिलक्टेंस मीन्स ऑपोजिशन. तो आपको डी एक्सिस में मिनिमम रिलक्टेंस मिलेगा, वाइल आपको क्यू एक्सिस में बहुत ज़्यादा रिलक्टेंस मिलेगा. अब जितना ज़्यादा रिलक्टेंस रहेगा उतना कम फ्लक्स रहेगा, राइट. सो अगर आपको डी एक्सिस में मिनिमम रिलक्टेंस मिल रहा है तो आपको मैक्सिमम फ्लक्स मिलेगा, वाइल आपको क्यू एक्सिस में मैक्सिमम रिलक्टेंस मिल रहा है तो मिनिमम फ्लक्स मिलेगा. So accordingly, there will be two fluxes, phi d and phi q. Phi d will be along d axis and phi q will be along q axis. Now, if you see this figure, in this particular figure, we are considering a lagging load. Like for example, there is a lagging load. So in lagging load, what is there? There is a demagnetizing effect. Armature का क्या effect होता है lagging load के लिए? Demagnetizing effect होता है, मतलब opposing nature का होता है. तो जो फ्लक्स रहेगा यहाँ पे आर्मेचर फ्लक्स रहेगा दैट इज अलोंग द डी एक्सिस will be opposing the main flux, and that is why you can see that EF is in, if EF is in direction which is upwards, the d axis flux and d axis flux rotor flux will be along the opposite direction. So this is how you can see, this is d axis, this is q axis, FD is along d axis, FQ is along q axis, and the combination of these two will give you Fs or Fa. Fa is nothing but total armature MMF. Alright. Now what is this BR? If this is a total rotor flux actually. Okay. But when you have the lagging load, the armature flux will be opposing the main flux, and that is why we can say BS, which is the armature flux which is having opposing nature. Again, BS is classified into two components, BD along the D axis and BQ along the Q axis. Alright. So the rotor flux induces voltage EF in the stator. EF is the actual flux EMF induced due to rotor flux. Alright, this has been all already. The stator armature current IA will flow through the synchronous motor when the lagging power factor load is connected. तो जैसे मैंने आपको last slide में बताया, we are considering the situation for lagging power factor load. So obviously IA will lag behind the generated voltage EF by angle psi. जैसे मैंने बताया psi is the angle between IA and EF. So because it is lagging load, IA will always lag EF by psi. And the armature current produces stator MMF flux F force MMFS, and this MMF lags behind IA by angle 90 degree. Now this FS, that is the armature magnetomotive force, is produced because of IA. Alright, this is produced because of IA. So there will be always the 90-degree phase relationship between the MMF and current. MMF is nothing but the EMF which is induced because of the magnetic flux. So there will always be 90-degree lag relationship with the armature current. And again, Fs, which is produces a stator magnetic field, that is Bs along the direction of Fs. That we have seen in the last slide. All right. So the stated MMF is resolved into two components, namely FD and FQ. Now if phi d is the direct axis flux and phi q is the quadrature axis flux, obviously because it will produce its own flux. So if phi d is the flux which is acting along d axis and phi q is the flux which is acting along q axis, while Rd is the reluctance. Remind you, Rd here R we are not using for resistance. Here R we are using for reluctance, opposition to the flux, opposition to the magnetic field, not opposition to the current. अगर ये opposition to current होता है तो ये resistance हो जाता है, but ये opposition to the magnetic flux है तो ये reluctance है. So Rd is the reluctance of the direct axis flux path, while Rq is the reluctance of the quadrature axis flux path. So we can write down the expression of phi d and phi q. Phi d is the flux along d axis and phi q is the flux along q axis. So phi d is given by Fd by Rd, where Fd is the magnetomotive force along d axis divided by its reluctance. So you can see we are having, if you can relate the analogy of this equation with the Ohm's law. आप लोगों ने मैग्नेटिक सर्किट जब पढ़ा था तो आपने दोनों की सिमिलैरिटीज भी पढ़ी थी और आपको पता है कि ओम्स लॉ इसमें भी अप्लाई होता है. तो व्हाट इज रिलक्टेंस? रिलक्टेंस इज इक्विवेलेंट टू रेजिस्टेंस for electric circuit. What is FD? FD here is the magnetomotive force which is equivalent to electromotive force in electric circuit. And what is flux? Flux is similar to current in electric circuit. So if you go through this analogy and if you see this equation, you can see this is nothing but the Ohm's law, where flux is equals to FD. FD is the magnetomotive force. So flux is MMF upon reluctance. That is what is the equation given here. Alright. तो एक और जो मैंने लास्ट पॉइंट दिया है ये इसी रेफरेंस में है कि RD is less than RQ. Now it is representing the same thing. Reluctance along D axis is less than reluctance along Q axis. Obviously because of the air gap. मैंने already आपसे डिस्कस किया है. The thing is explained here also. The direct axis component MMF, that is FD, produces more flux than the quadrature axis. क्योंकि रिलक्टेंस कम है डी एक्सिस के थ्रू तो डी एक्सिस में ज्यादा फ्लक्स प्रोड्यूस होगा, ज्यादा मैग्नेटिक फील्ड रहेगा. लेकिन क्यू एक्सिस में क्योंकि रिलक्टेंस ज्यादा है तो जो एमएमएफ प्रोड्यूस होगा वो कम होगा. सो दिस कैन बी क्रॉस चेक विद द हेल्प ऑफ दिस इक्वेशन ऑल्सो. तो आपको देखो कि जो आर डी है रिलक्टेंस वो कम है तो फाई डी है वो ज्यादा होगा, और यहाँ पे अगर आर आर क्यू विच इज रिलक्टेंस इन क्यू एक्सिस ये ज्यादा है तो जो फ्लक्स है वो कम होगा. एफ क्यू जो है फ्लक्स along क्यू एक्सिस विल बी लेसर. ऑलराइट, ओके. Now let's go to next thing. So we understood the relation between air gap, reluctance and flux. अब हम क्या देख रहे हैं? अब फ्लक्स का तो हमने रिलेशन निकाल दिया कि क्या कम होगा क्या ज्यादा होगा. तो सिमिलरली अब फ्लक्स की वजह से ईएमएफ इंड्यूस हो रहा है. अब यहाँ पे हम कौन सी ईएमएफ की बात कर रहे हैं? आर्मेचर रिएक्शन वाले ईएमएफ की बात कर रहे हैं, ठीक है। सो ईएडी इज नथिंग बट द आर्मेचर रिएक्शन वोल्टेज अलोंग डी एक्सिस। डी एक्सिस में जो आर्मेचर रिएक्शन की वजह से ईएमएफ इंड्यूस हो रहा है या आर्मेचर रिएक्शन की वजह से वोल्टेज ड्रॉप हो रहा है, आप बोल सकते हो वोल्टेज ड्रॉप हो रहा है, तो वो जो है वो यहाँ पे ईएडी है। ईएडी इज द direct axis component of armature reaction voltage. Let me again tell you, this is armature reaction voltage, this is not field voltage, this is not induced EMF, ठीक है। ये सिर्फ वोल्टेज है because of armature reaction along D axis. EAQ is the quadrature axis component of the armature reaction voltage, ठीक है। तो EAD है, EAQ है, इससे पहले हमने EF देखा, EF is the induced EMF. EAD and EAQ is nothing but the armature component of voltage. Now, since each armature reaction voltage is directly proportional to stator current and lags behind its by 90-degree angle, therefore the armature reaction voltage can be written as shown below. अब armature reaction जैसे मैंने आपको बताया EAD and EAQ, ये क्या है? This is nothing but voltage drop because of armature reaction. So let me give you the equation. EAD is nothing but XAD Now, see, if you see this equation, let's try to understand what is this equation. What is this? We know that when current is there, अब IA तो consider नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि IA को भी दो पार्ट में डिवाइड कर दिया है, along D axis, along Q axis, ठीक है। तो जो D axis में EMF हो रहा है, मतलब EMF है ना, जो वोल्टेज ड्रॉप हो रहा है, this is nothing but voltage drop along D axis. तो ये जो D axis में वोल्टेज ड्रॉप हो रहा है आर्मेचर रिएक्शन की वजह से, सबसे पहले तो ये किस पे डिपेंड करेगा? ID कंपोनेंट ऑफ IA, डायरेक्ट एक्सिस कंपोनेंट ऑफ आर्मेचर करंट, एंड XAD हमने जस्ट थोड़ी देर पहले लास्ट स्लाइड में देखा, XAD इज नथिंग बट रिएक्टेंस ऑफ आर्मेचर रिएक्शन अलोंग डी एक्सिस, ठीक है। और माइनस जे यहाँ पे, वाई माइनस जे? बिकॉज द रिलेशन बिटवीन देम इज 90 डिग्री, क्योंकि जो ईएमएफ रहता है, जो वोल्टेज रहता है, इट ऑलवेज लैग्स करंट बाय 90 डिग्री बिकॉज दिस इज द करंट विच इज प्रोड्यूसिंग दिस ईएमएफ, राइट। So that is why EAD is written as minus j XAD ID, while EAQ is written as minus j XAQ IQ. So just remember, EAD is XAD into ID but into minus j because यहाँ पे 90 डिग्री लैगिंग नेचर होता है, इसलिए माइनस j, and EAQ is equals to minus j XAQ IQ again because it is minus 90 degree. All right. So where XAD is the armature reaction reactance in direct axis per phase, XAQ is the armature reaction reactance in the quadrature axis per phase. Very obvious. All right. Okay. So the total voltage induced in the stator is the sum of EMF induced by field excitation, and the equation can be written as, let's see the equation, things will be clear to you. अब अगर आप इस इक्वेशन को देखोगे, ट्राई टू रिलेट दिस इक्वेशन विद द सिलेंड्रिकल पोल वाला इक्वेशन। हमने सिलेंड्रिकल रोटर वाला जो इक्वेशन किया था, हम उसी से इसको थोड़ा थोड़ा रिलेट करने की कोशिश करेंगे। ऑलराइट, सो द वोल्टेज E dash is equals to the sum of terminal voltage V and the voltage drops in the resistance and leakage reactions of the armature. The equation can be written as this. So what is E dash? E dash is equals to V plus IARA plus IAJXA. यहाँ पे जो है this is XL है, this is nothing but leakage reactance. All right. So the armature current is divided into two components. One is in phase with the D axis, another is in phase with the quadrature axis. And the equation goes like this: if IQ is the axis, if the component of armature current along Q axis, and IT is the component of current along D axis. So obviously there will be 90 degree phase difference between them, but the total armature current will be ID plus IQ. The total armature current will be ID plus IQ. We get EF. Now EF is the main field current, main field induced EMF. जो field की वजह से total EMF induced होता है, that is nothing but EF. Now EF is equals to V plus IARA plus IAJXL. So this is nothing but our resistive drop जो हमने consider किया, आपको पता है unit 2 में. Then this is leakage reactance drop. This is XL, okay? This is XL means this is just leakage reactance drop. All right. And this is XADID. It is nothing but armature reaction drop but along D axis. ठीक है? And this is XAQIQ. This is armature reaction drop but along Q axis. समझ में आया? तो V as it is, IARA as it is, IAXL भी as it is. लेकिन सिर्फ जो आर्मेचर रिएक्शन इफेक्ट है उसको आप टू कंपोनेंट्स में ले रहे हो, XADID and XAQIQ. So combining equation 6 and 7, we can also write this equation as, so this is the final equation where IA is written as components, is the combination of ID and IQ. So EF is nothing but equals to V plus plus RA. IA is written as ID plus IQ. Similarly here, and it is as it is, ID and IQ. So you can just go through these two equations. Now here in the second equation, that is equation number 9, यहाँ पे इन्होंने क्या किया है, आईडी के कंपोनेंट्स, आईडी के रिएक्टेंसेस को कंबाइन कर दिया है एंड आईक्यू के रिएक्टेंसेस को कंबाइन कर दिया है. सो आईडी का जो रिएक्टेंस है अलोंग डी एक्सिस इज XL plus XAD, while along Q axis it is XL plus XAQ. So this is how the expressions are written. So let XD is equals to XL plus XAD, that is the reactance along D axis, very very important, and XQ is equals to XL plus XAQ, which is the quadrature axis reactance. These two terms are very very important. So the reactance XD is called the direct axis synchronous reactance and the reactance XQ is called the quadrature axis synchronous reactance. Combining this in equation, so we got our final EMF equation as that EF, that is EMF induced, is V plus IRA plus JXDID plus JXQIQ. Very very important expression. So in today's session we have learned about direct axis and quadrature axis, its reactances and the armature reaction effect on the EMF induced. I hope things are clear to you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share with your friends so that others can also clear their concepts about the same. Subscribe to my channel if you have not yet so that you don't miss any of the upcoming videos, and press the bell button right next to it. Thank you and happy learning.